and welcome to the Secret of Confident Niching Masterclass with me, Melitta Campbell. I have been coaching business owners specifically for the last 6 years and businesses and leaders in the broader context for nearly 3 decades. So I know that this is a question that comes up so often, and I understand it can be difficult when you are multi-passionate, you have lots of different types of people that you like to help, or you have lots of different products and services, or maybe you are just not really sure where to start. And there are lots of doubts around niching as well. So today I want to look at what it takes to niche with confidence. So looking at these doubts and anything that is outdated, misplaced, or any myths that feel like they're real, but in fact they're not. So we'll look at what it takes to niche with confidence and how exactly to go about that. And I'm going to show you what it looks like in practice as well as we go along, so you can see the difference as well. I know everyone learns in different ways, and for me personally, things make sense, but it's only when I actually see it in practice that it really clicks. So in case you're that works for you as well, we'll dig into that. So there's going to be a mix of theory, and it's going to be interactive. So if you have any questions, then do let me know in the chat as we go through. And if I can answer them as we go through, then I will. Otherwise, we'll answer all the questions at the end. So let's dive in. I'm Melitta Campbell, and I'm a certified mindset coach and multi-award winning business coach. I've been doing this a long time. So marketing communications has been really my passion, my work for 3 decades now. And I'm a speaker, best-selling author, TEDx speaker coach, and I'm the host of the Driven Female Entrepreneur podcast. But what all that means is that I've looked at marketing and communications from every possible angle. I've looked at it from internal communications, PR. As a consultant, I've worked with some of the most influential leaders out there. I've helped them with their speeches and their visibility plans. And what I've seen consistently is that most people jump in with their marketing messaging too soon. There are several steps that come first that are missing. And when you miss these first steps, you're kind of building your business, you're building your promotions on shaky ground because you haven't got that solid foundation yet. Once you fill in those gaps, you have that solid foundation, then you have that confidence, you know exactly what you're doing, and things move forward much, much faster. So I developed the Dream Clients Blueprint to help business owners to get those core pieces in place first. Niching is one of them, as I'll show you in a moment. And so that they can start to confidently talk about their business in a way that they know is going to attract the right people and take them on a journey in a way that feels natural. It feels not really easy. It's never easy running a business, but it feels straightforward. It makes sense. And it's in alignment with who you are and the experience that you want to create for your clients. It's not just about earning the money. We obviously want to be earning the money and having that profit, but also about having that impact and creating a lifestyle that works for us as well. So our business is working for us rather than the other way around. And all of that takes more than just a perfect plan. You really have to have that courage and that self-belief to step up and take action consistently, because that's what's really needed to make your business a success. But breaking that down so it does fit in with your lifestyle and your goals and the way you want to be working, so that you can do that without burning out, without feeling guilty that you're not doing enough or not doing the right things, or you can actually manage a lifestyle that suits you, that works for you, your ambitions, your personality, the impact you want to have in the world, and so on. So this is the Dream Clients Blueprint that I was mentioning. And you can see here that the top part is really the foundation. So you kind of think of foundations at the bottom, but I put it at the top because that's where we start. And it's finding your vision, your value, who you are as a business owner, and those right clients. So who is the perfect clients for you to be working with? And that's right here at the beginning. And once you know that, once you have that clarity, then you can create offers that people want to buy. You can have the marketing that people pay attention to and engage with. The sales process becomes simpler because people already see value in you before they come to that sales call. So instead of having to sell yourself, you just have a great conversation to see what the best next steps are in your collaboration. Having those processes in place that help keep things simple and organized for you, and then balancing that out with the right mindset, the right productivity, tools and time management in place, and starting to build out a team. And once you have this, you have the clarity, you know what you're doing, you know where you're going, and you have the profit, the money coming in. That builds exceptional confidence. You know what you're doing and people will pay you for it. Then when you have the balance, the time and energy, and that money coming in, that's when you can really start to have an impact. You can start to invest more in yourself, in your business, in other causes, and really amplify that impact. And when you have the time and energy and you know exactly what you're doing, you start to build momentum. So all of these areas have to work together. But as I said, it really starts with these right clients. So that's the context of what we're going to do today. So firstly, what is a niche anyway? So as I see it, it's defining your right fit clients and then focusing everything you do, say, and create only on those dream clients. Nice and simple, but it takes having clarity, it takes some courage, and it takes some consistency as well. And this is the part that most people struggle with. It makes sense in theory, that yes, great, but then you go and do it and you're not quite sure where to start, you're not quite sure if you're getting it right. And then it can feel quite counterproductive to say, these are the people I want to work with, because sometimes we're like, but if I work with these, I can have more money, more impact. I'm limiting myself. We'll come to all of these questions in a minute. But that's what I want to tackle today, is this clarity, courage, and how do you start to be consistent? So we'll bust some common niching myths. We'll look at how you can define your niche, and we'll look at how you can start to connect with your dream clients, and then how to use your niche. What does that actually look like in practice? And then I'll show you if, for a lot of you, what we cover today is just exactly what you need to take that next step. For those of you who want to take things a bit further and continue to build a business, I'll show you how you can do that. And I have something special that I hope you will like towards the end, and I'll explain all a little bit later. So let's look at some of the niching fears. So the big one that I hear so often is worrying that you're going to exclude people who could be benefiting from your product or service, or missing out on potential income and impact, or they're concerned about being boxed in. If I go for this niche, I'll be stuck there forevermore. What if it's not right? I want to change. Think the market evolves, so on. Or worrying about choosing the wrong niche, or just simply not knowing where to start. So those are the fears we're going to dig into, but we're going to come back to them because I want to share a little bit more first. So hopefully you're ready to start thinking a little bit differently about niching. So we're going to play a game. Are you all ready? It's called Generalist or Specialist. So who would you choose? So I want you to imagine that you have just moved from your home in America and you've moved to Switzerland, and you are looking around and it's amazing. It's just beautiful from any angle you look at it. But you didn't expect the culture shock to be quite so big. You're not quite sure who you are in this new country, and how do you be yourself without changing your identity while still fitting in with this quiet, conservative nation. So you've decided it's time for you to have some help. Who would you turn to? So this is where I want you to put your answers in the chat. Would you choose a life coach? Or maybe a life coach for women? Or a life coach for expat women in Switzerland? Who would you choose? Eugenia would pick number 3. Anyone choose someone different? Yeah, Joelle, it's number 3. How about you, Jessica? Yeah, 3 as well. So let's look at another scenario. Who would you choose in this case? you have a quieter personality. You've been coaching for a couple of years and you've decided now is the time to get a bit more visible, but you're kind of scared. You want to start with LinkedIn. You think that's the place to start. You think your ideal clients are there, but you're a bit worried about being visible. And it's the first time you've done this, being quite a shy person. It doesn't feel natural to you at all. So who do you choose? A social media strategist, a LinkedIn strategist, or the strategist? LinkedIn strategist for life coaches with a quieter personality. Tina's gone for 3 again. Joelle and Jessica 2. Yeah. Okay, final one. Maybe it's the lady from the first situation. You're starting to ski. You have kids, they're learning to ski and they're getting quite good and you don't want to be left out. However, you're starting from scratch and being a bit older, you know that if you fall over, it could quite hurt. So you're a little bit nervous about strapping these planks to your feet and heading down the mountain. So you decided that you want help. Who do you go to? A ski instructor, an English-speaking ski instructor, or an English-speaking ski instructor helping adult learners to ski with confidence so they can keep up with their kids? Yes, exactly. Number 3. So hopefully you can start to see the difference it makes when you have a niche. So perception is everything. When you are seen as a specialist, people assume that you're an expert, that you have an understanding of their struggles, how it feels to be them, and what it takes to move forward, that you have the right tools to help them, and that you are worth the investment. In other words, and as you've seen, once you have a niche, you become the most obvious choice for your ideal client. So once you can talk to your ideal client and really say, I help you with this result, then the right people naturally gravitate to you. So you don't have to oversell. You don't have to be pushy. You just have to be visible. You just have to be consistent. So already having a niche is doing a lot of the hard work for you when it comes to your marketing. So let's start busting some of those fears. Not everyone is your dream client. So as we've seen, when you niche down, you start to attract more of those clients. But if you don't do that, if you are a ski instructor or a life coach and you are trying to help everybody who wants to get their life in order and wants some support, you are going to spread yourself really, really thin. It's going to be very hard to get your message right. So you're starting to attract people in. And if you've ever met someone that you didn't particularly like, then you have a niche. You need to niche down so you can work with the people who you really love working with and who enable you to bring your best of yourself and the best of your skills to make it that impact. If you're trying to be everything to everyone, you end up being nothing to no one, and you don't have any kind of impact at all. The right clients will protect and grow your mindset. So when you work with the wrong people, they will be asking you to do things and get results that have nothing to do with your work. So Joelle, I know you're in fitness, but if you're working with someone who has like some goals that don't really align with the tools and methodologies that you use, then you're always going to feel like you're not good enough, like you're a fake, or that you weren't meant to do this if you aren't able to have that impact for them, and will end up overworking because suddenly you think, oh, I should be having these tools, I should be able to have an impact for them. Or people who don't put in the work behind the scenes in between sessions, for example, they aren't going to get results from working with you. So if you have the wrong clients, they're going to make you question yourself. You're going to have this imposter syndrome and you're going to work really, really hard to try and please people who it's just impossible for you to please. I had a great example of that. I worked with a teacher, but she didn't teach kids from a book. She co-created lessons with them. And after she really defined her niche and what she could do for them, she had 4 people come through the door who were her perfect clients, and they didn't even ask the price. They just signed up there and then because they got it. She offered exactly what they were looking for. But then a 5th person came in and they wanted someone to teach their child from a textbook, which wasn't what she did. And she was able to say, sorry, that's not what I do. Go and speak to so-and-so down the road. She'll be able to help you. But she said before, she would have been going around in circles thinking, oh gosh, I need to launch a course that's going to do that. And I'll have to find the right textbook, which would have cost her a lot of time and effort. And it wouldn't have made her feel happy and good about the work she's doing, because she doesn't believe that's the best way to help kids become a lifelong learner, which is her passion. So by understanding who the right clients were, she had that confidence, and having those right clients come and love the work and come back and pay her prices, which were 3 times more than anyone else in the area, but they pay happily, and they have done for years, because she knows the right clients, and she now confidently can say to the other ones, sorry, I'm not for you, go and speak to this person. So you can really use all of your time and energy and focus on having that real impact for the right people. It saves you time, money, and energy. We've just covered that, and enables you to connect on a deeper level. When you work with a smaller niche of clients and you really understand them and what's going to make a difference for them, you can connect with them and create something that's really quite remarkable in the marketplace. And you'll naturally start to differentiate yourself and become known for the impact that you have. And you'll be able to stand out and attract more, not just people and clients, but opportunities that are a perfect fit for you and will help you grow your business and take it to that next level. So ultimately, when you reach that position, you will be in a strong place to have more income and more impact, because you're working with the right people, you're creating an exceptional experience for them with your products or services. You are able to charge those higher fees because you're seen as a specialist rather than a generalist. You're seen as someone who really gets it, and you're known, you've built that reputation for your results. So that is when you can have a real impact with your business. Does that all make sense?
I agree with this, and obviously it makes sense. Maybe you will talk about it later, but at the beginning, you don't have this reputation, and where it's a real challenge. You can define your niche, you can define where you are good at, but after it takes a lot of time to build this reputation and attract actually these clients. So my fear is actually, what should I do during this time while I'm building my reputation?
Remember the title of the slide just before that?
Yeah.
Perception is everything. You don't need a reputation. You're right. It takes time to build a reputation, to get known for that impact, but you can't get known for your impact if you're not having an impact. So you can niche down, and before your reputation, you need to say, this is what I'm flipping good at. I get amazing results with this kind of people, and this is why, because I'm passionate about this. I've had these experiences. I've done this in the past. I've struggled with this myself. You start to build in your stories so people can see that you were perfectly placed and you have that understanding. You are the specialist. So you don't need the reputation first. It comes after, and it certainly helps at that point. But if you haven't niched, then you don't get the reputation. So it's a bit like confidence. We think confidence comes first, but it doesn't. It comes afterwards. It comes after we've done something really brave and challenging. Then we realize, oh, I can do this. And you have the confidence to take that next step. It's the same way with your reputation. You need to niche and get known for that first, and build all your messaging to support why you're the perfect person, why you have built the right tools for this particular person, you have that experience. So everything can build, so you don't need that first. Does that help? Does that answer that question?
Yes, thank you.
So what is important to know is that niches evolve. So almost there is no wrong niche. You need to start somewhere, and then you will learn bit by bit who you love working with, who gets the best results from working with you, who really values the tools and approach that you have and gets these exceptional results. So if you start somewhere, you can continue to niche down or up. It can evolve in all sorts of different ways. And if you ever listen to my podcast, The Driven Female Entrepreneur, you will hear pretty much 99% of the interviews I have with other successful women that Where they started is never where they end up. But you do need to start somewhere. And if you start too broad, it's going to be really difficult for you to know what works in your marketing, your messaging, what offers are really attracting people in. So it helps to niche small first, build those skills, build that understanding, and then broaden out afterwards. So we tend to want to start big to start with, but if you start small, you're going to really help yourself because you'll have more of that time and energy. You're learning so much in the early days that if you go too broad, you won't learn fast enough and you'll burn out, you'll run out of resources before you even get started. And when creating your niche, it's so important to keep your own vision and values in mind. You will probably, and you've probably already had, lots of well-meaning people give you advice in your business. The trouble is they don't know your vision. They don't know what your values are, what experience you want to create, how you want to feel in your business, how you want to be showing up. Only you have all of that information. So get clear on that information early on, and then use that as a filter for all the advice. And you'll have so many ideas going forward that you can use that to help you shortcut that process and get your niche right from the beginning. So keep your vision and values in mind all the time, and you will have that alignment. Now, this is something that I didn't do in my first business. I was a communication consultant and I said yes to anyone who would pay me, and I burned out. It took me a long time to kind of really wake up to that. It took 7 or 8 years, but I was working for all kinds of projects, but they weren't really fulfilling me. They weren't using the best of my ability, and I wasn't really believing in my work. So it wasn't really feeding my soul in any way. So if I had done this, I would have designed a very different business and had very different results. Yes, there are lots of tools to find out your vision and values. Putting words on your ideas is something different. So your vision and values and your ideas are different things. It's too much for us to go into right now. However, what I'm going to introduce to you at the end may be interesting because it will help you with that. So niching around demographics isn't always relevant. It can be more helpful to look at your results or transformation. We're going to come to this in a moment, but I wanted to bring it up here because I see a lot of people stuck with, oh, I work with women who are age this to that and go to the gym or something. And it's not very helpful for most businesses. If you look at a Tony Robbins event, for example, he has all kinds of demographics there. There's no one kind of clear, oh, it's people who fit into this little box, go to a Tony Robbins event. However, he's niched around the result that he gets, that quick transformation, people who want something very intense, very quick turnaround to kind of give themselves that short, sharp shock they need to start getting different results in their life. That's what he niches around, a result and the experience of working with him. But the bottom line is niching will save you time, make you more money, and deepen your impact. And for most of the people that I work with, this is what they want. It isn't just about the money, but about creating success that they feel proud of because it's helping people. It's really making a difference in the world. And having a niche is how you're going to do that without going completely insane in the process. So how do you feel about niching in your business now versus when you came on the call at the beginning? We're going to look at how we go about niching in a moment, but in terms of your fears or your, can I really do this? Where are you now? Great. Joelle says it seems possible and important. Absolutely. I think getting your niche right is one of the most important things you will do in your business. The other most important thing is understanding you. So your vision and your values. I think once you have those two things, you can see where the two overlap and build everything in that space and create really a magic business. So Jessica's saying she's not quite sure how to do it. We're going to come to that, don't worry. But she's seeing the importance of being able to niche down. Yeah, brilliant. So finding your niche, there's a saying in English, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, which is something that's really, really hard to find. If you don't have a niche, finding clients is almost like finding a needle in a haystack without knowing it's a needle that you're looking for. So it makes it really, really difficult to find clients that are going to be happy in your business, pay your fees, and get that great result from working with you. So finding your niche is making that whole process much more streamlined and easy for you. So this is where to start. So Jessica, we have just 5 questions to ask to get started. So first of all, who do you enjoy working with? Like the example I was telling you before about my client who was teaching kids, working with a group of kids from a textbook was not what filled her with joy. That's what she used to do in her teaching career. And she felt it was letting kids down. And so she wanted to give kids that opportunity to do things differently. So for her, that's who she really enjoyed working with. And just understanding that helped her massively, because up until then she'd been making a loss for 2 years because she'd been targeting the wrong clients. She was talking about her business in a way that was bringing all the wrong people in who didn't want to pay her prices, didn't really get why she was doing things differently. There was just a big gap between what they wanted, how she wanted to be working. But just asking this question alone already quickly helped her start to attract more the right clients to her. Who values your process and expertise? So we all have a particular way of working. So for me, for example, there are dozens and dozens of business coaches out there, many of whom have a marketing background and mindset coaching certifications as well. So we're all kind of the same, but the way I work is different because we do start with you and your values and your ideal client and getting those offers right and moving into your marketing. But we go deep into that. I tried recently to make a light version of my course, and I realized that's not how I work. I want people to really understand and connect with each part of their business so that they can start to really have that confidence, that self-belief, and move forward. And then from that point forward, and consistently I see this after just 2 or 3 weeks of working together, they think deeply, but then things connect and they move forward much faster afterwards because everything starts to make sense. They can start to see, oh, this doesn't feel right. That marketing tactic's not going to work for me. They can really cut down on all of these questions and doubts that they have so things go faster. But not everybody wants that. I have conversations with people who's like, no, I just want you to tell me what to say and I'm off, and it's like, well, that's not how I work. So who values the way that you work and your processes and expertise, how you believe is the best way to get lasting results for your clients and having that impact we were talking about? Who do you get the best results for? Having a perfect program and someone that values your process and expertise is one thing, but if people aren't willing to really invest in themselves and put in the time and work to get the results, it's great for them to buy your creams, Jessica, to help them look beautiful, but if they don't take those supplements and use the cream consistently, they're not going to get any results. So who is it that gets those best results from your collaboration? And who can afford to pay you? We don't necessarily like to think about this sometimes, but we need to focus on people who can afford to pay, because otherwise the value balance is off. And you want to charge a fair price, but if people aren't willing to pay a fair price for the services and the results that you get, then they're not your ideal clients. There will be other people and other ways they can solve their problems. So you don't need to feel guilty about not serving these people. They will find their right fit. But you do need to make sure that you are earning that income, having a profit, because if you're not, your business won't last. You won't be able to have that impact over the long term. You'll just be a flash in the pan and you'll be out of business. Yeah. Joelle, you're asking some really big questions. She's asked, how do you evaluate the fair price? So the fair price is all about charging for the value that you offer. So you may give people an hour of your time, but if that helps them go on and have an amazing life, you don't want to charge for the hour. You want to charge for the result, the value they place on the result that you get. So I may help someone for an hour to get their messaging right. For example, this happened in the past. And then with that message, they've been able to go and win $1 million worth of investment. So how much is that hour worth? It's about the result, not about your time per se. So, but it's all about the value as they see it. But the more you can get your niche right, the more you can communicate the value, they will walk away with exactly. This is the key to selling without selling and getting people to happily pay your prices, because if they don't see the value in it for them, they won't pay. And if you have too big a niche, they're never going to see the value in it for them, because you can't be that specific. So it all fits together. You need to know this information first before you can evaluate that fair price. Hope that helps. There's a great podcast, a friend of mine hosts it, called The Pricing Lady. If you type in Pricing Lady, you'll find it. There's some great advice around pricing on there. And who can you realistically reach? So you may decide, oh, billionaires can afford to pay me, I will target them. But can you reach billionaires? Do you know how to find them? Do you know how to talk to them? Do you know exactly what they want? And if you can't realistically reach them, then you want to think again. So these are 5 fundamental questions you can use to help you start narrowing down the niche. There are 2 parts to niching. So the demographics we were talking about earlier, which is where most people invest their time, is finding the gender, age, location, income, education, background, so on, of their ideal clients. And for some products and services, this is really, really important, but it'll only ever be 10% of what niching is all about. The other 90% requires you to understand your clients on an emotional level, because every decision to buy is emotional. We think it's logical because when we have emotional drive to buy something, then we justify it logically. So once you know your niche and you can connect with them emotionally, you'll also want to help them justify their purchases logically by providing that information as well. So you want to have the 2 parts in your messaging, your marketing, the way you bring clients in. But for the emotional side of things, you want to know how they think, feel, and react. You really want to understand their fears, frustrations, and concerns. What do they want to move away from? And what do they want to move towards, their ambitions and their goals? What's the gap in between? And so often you may think, oh, yes, emotionally, I know I want to be here. I know I want my business to be attracting all of these people, but you have a gap. But is it possible for me? So you need to be able to justify it logically with a plan. And once you know your clients, you'll be able to sell them that plan, that system, that offer that's going to help them get from A to B. So emotionally, yes, I want that result. And logically, they can back it up with, I can see exactly how that's going to work for me. So the more you know about your ideal clients, the more you know about this emotional profile and what their needs are, the more you can communicate in a way that's going to help them see you as the obvious choice.
Yes. I have a question. I had some clients, and at the beginning, I can imagine who potentially, like when I'm answering these 5 questions, I can imagine who would enjoy working with me or with whom I will enjoy working, but it's just my idea. It's not something that it was confirmed. Maybe it was confirmed with some of the clients, but they are really few. So how to make sure, or not making sure 100%, but increase the chances of answering correctly to these questions, and then to define your niche well?
Testing. So marketing is more of a science than anything exact, because you have to always experiment a little bit. You'll put something out there and say, hey, this is the offer, and you'll put it in front of people who appear to be your ideal clients and see if they buy or what questions they have. And if they all say no, then you need to work on your offer. It's another reason why people I see jump in with their marketing too soon. They're like, okay, I know who I'm targeting with. I know I do life coaching. Let's sell that. But you don't have an offer. yet. You don't have a clear system and a process and something to say, when we work together, this is exactly what it's going to look like. This is the result you're going to get. These are the exact steps you're going to take. It doesn't mean you need to build all of that out. When I built my Dream Clients Blueprint at first, I put it out there to see who was interested. Can I sell this? And in fact, I had 3 people buy in just a matter of hours. So, and that's all I wanted, because at first I was delivering it one-to-one. And so I couldn't handle more people than that. Plus, I hadn't built it. So I'd built the first 2 weeks. People were going through it. So I was building it week by week, just 1 week ahead. They all knew this because I was teaching them at the same time. But then I could test it as they were going through, tweak it, and then sell it to a larger number of people afterwards. So you can test it, and just, it doesn't need to be made already. If you create your whole offer and exactly all your coaching tools and your workbooks and your videos, or however you're going to approach your service, if you build all of that out and then nobody wants it, you've just wasted your time. So it's all testing. In marketing, we have a thing called A/B testing, where you will test this headline versus that headline, and then you'll see which one works. Then you'll take the one that works the best, and you'll perhaps try this headline or this headline and try something different. And then you'll try different images, but you just try one thing at a time. So it takes time, which is why the more you know your ideal clients, the more you know about you and your expertise and what you offer that's different, the better the educated guess you can start with for your process. But there's no exact do this and it will work. It's a case of getting all the blocks in place and then starting to test your offer. The emotional connection. There was a marketing professor at Harvard Business School called Theodore Levitt, and he was famous for saying, people don't want a 1/4-inch drill because they want a 1/4-inch drill. They buy a 1/4-inch drill because they want a 1/4-inch hole in the wall. So people don't buy the drill, they buy the hole. So effectively, that's what we're selling, is the outcome of what we are offering. However, I have yet met anyone who wants a hole in the wall. You think, I want to put up a bookshelf, or a shelf where I can put ornaments from my travels around the world, or where I can hang a beautiful piece of art or a photograph of my family. So your job is to understand why people want that hole. So it's not about the drill or the hole that it makes, but what people will do with that afterwards. So the more you get to know your niche, the more you'll understand what they want, why they want to put that particular piece of art on the wall. What will it do for them when they have that there? How's it going to make them feel when they see that every day? Why are they thinking that versus a bookshelf with their holes? You want to understand as much as possible about their dream situation and their challenge in getting there, so that you can start to talk to them on an emotional level, because that's when you're going to have the real connection. That's when you're going to get their attention. And that's when you're going to get them into a state where they're willing to invest and buy. So what you want to do to get this emotional connection is really define your core niche, and then align with the segments you have a passion for serving, and understand why they want holes, they're sort of hot buttons. And once you have that, then you have everything you need to start attracting your clients, how to start making messaging and marketing and offers that people are going to want, are going to make a difference for them. So knowing exactly who your clients are and why they will love you and your approach will help you naturally differentiate and stand out. For example, so I've taken some cycling holidays. They're all offering the same thing, cycling holidays, but they all have a different niche. And you will start to see, hopefully, as we go through these examples, how that makes them the obvious choice for their ideal clients. This cycling holiday, they're called cycling adventure holidays, red spokes. I would suspect that they are going for men because of the red, the bold, the black, and the fact it's a guide out on his own in some very stark locations. So these are people who want something, a difficult, a challenging cycling experience. So here it's got tour difficulty 7 out of 10. average daily distance 70 kilometers. This isn't someone who wants a leisurely holiday. They want to be challenged. And they know that for their ideal client, seeing a picture like this where there are no beaches, no bars, that's exactly what they're looking for. And a picture there with mountains and like nothing is exactly the kind of terrain that they want to experience. And people like this want lots of information. Thanks, Jessica. See you soon. So it's got lots of information here about exactly what that experience is going to be like. The itinerary, if you click on that, it's totally detailed all the way through. And so if that's you, if you want a cycling holiday, you want adventure, you want to see parts of the world that are spectacular and few people have been to before, then you come to this page and you're going to think, yes, I'm in the right place. However, if you are someone who wants a much more relaxed pace and you land on this website, you're just going to think, yes, you couldn't get more calm and tranquil in this image. It's a stark difference. They've used pink here. So I'm suspecting they go for more of a female audience. And I would say they're going for an older female audience. Anyone guess why I think that it's an older market? There's a big clue at the top. They've got a phone number. Who uses phones these days? Everyone's texting or emailing, apart from older people. They will want to pick up the phone and speak. If you're older and you want a nice leisurely holiday, it's going to be perfect. The other holiday, they wouldn't even look at it for a second. And here you can see self-guided, luggage transported, relaxing route, fairy tale chateau, again, tells you it's a woman that they're targeting, the use of their language, wonderful red and white wines. They know their market. They know exactly what they're looking for. So here, grade 1, mainly flat. So completely different. And you can see there's less information. It's just bullet points. And here for the family holidays, you can see next to no information. It's just one very short line because they know families have less time and energy to find the information that they want. So this is already speaking to them. It's got an image which shows them that it's an easier route for younger cyclists. And here there are words inspiring the next generation to be enthusiastic about two wheels. If you're a parent wanting to take your kids on a cycling holiday, if you love cycling, that's exactly what you want for your kids to be excited about cycling too. Family-friendly routes to suit a range of ages. Each journey offers the opportunity to learn more about a destination and its fascinating culture. So again, they know their market. They're looking for people who are perhaps a little bit more educated, who are interested in exploring the world and enthusing their kids, not just about cycling and sport, but about culture and different people, and plenty of off-bike fun too. So it's not all cycling because they know that parents, there's a limit to how much their kids will do. And then there's lots of other things. So they wouldn't have to think too hard about entertaining the kids. So in just 3 short lines, they've packed in everything their ideal clients want to hear. So you can start to see how it's the same holiday, it's a cycling holiday, but by knowing their ideal niche, they are using the words and the imagery and the amount of text as well, the way it's presented, to really reach out and be the obvious choice for their ideal client. Then you've got this holiday, UK cycle holidays. And this one, they're really so general, perfect cycling holidays, but for who? And the imagery doesn't tell you anything. So one, it looks like it's a family. The next one, it's not even anything to do with cycling. So it doesn't tell you anything about what exactly this experience is. So it's much more general. So if you were someone looking for one of the other holidays, you wouldn't even look at this site. You have to work really hard here to figure out if this is going to deliver the kind of holiday that you want. You would definitely choose one of the other ones before this one. Can you see how when you know your niche, it makes everything else speak to them, and it makes it much more easy for you to figure out exactly what to do, what to say, what imagery to use, probably what pricing as well is going to come into that too. Yes, great. So now how do you feel about niching your business? Has that helped you move forward further? Yes, very much. It seems so obvious when you see other sites. Not, yeah, exactly. It's really hard to do this for yourself. That's the thing. And a lot of my clients, at least 50%, work in marketing, communications, branding, because it's one thing doing it for other companies and being the expert. Doing it for yourself is harder because you're so close to it. You know everything that you do for your clients. So stripping that down to the essentials and flipping things around, seeing it from their perspective, is difficult to do on your own. So it's worth finding someone that can be that sounding board for you, so you can start to have a different perspective in that, or investing in some support to do that. So one thing that I have that would help you is the Dream Clients Accelerator. So my core Dream Clients Blueprint program is a 12-month experience with weekly coaching. However, I'm aware that at the beginning of your business, then that level of investment and commitment to your business is not always possible or the right move for you. So the Business Accelerator covers the first 6 elements of the Dream Clients Blueprint. And we start with creating your dream future, which is all about setting your goals, designing what it is that you want from your business so you can start to create that. Then we look at your niche, finding your dream clients and getting to know them. We start to reveal your true value. And this is all about finding your vision, your values, what that looks like in practice. How do you know when you're living into that so you can keep yourself aligned as well? And then we look at how to create your signature offer, either your signature system or offer, or both, depending on what's most relevant for your business. So you have something to sell, and you can create that in using a really clear framework from the very beginning. So very quickly you can reach out to the market and start testing. Then we're looking at your magnetic message. So you have a message in order to bring your ideal clients in. And we look at how do you set up your website and your social media to start attracting people in on a regular basis. Plus, all the way through, we're weaving in the mindset elements as well. So you feel really confident, you're keeping that, any of those imposter-like syndromes at bay, any outdated beliefs, and building up your positive habits and behaviors to support your business goals as well. So it's really this kind of part of the Blueprint program. It's all of the top bit and then starting to peek into the marketing part. That offer is $697. However, I would invite you to try it for a week for $47. And in that week, you can dive into the module that takes you into finding your ideal niche. I was going to put together a special offer and a training around this, and I thought, well, let me just give you what I already do for my ideal clients. So if you want to come and just do that week, you can come and do it for $47. That module takes, depending on the thinking you've already done, takes about a week to do. However, if you're super committed and you want to do more, you'll have access to all the 6 weeks. So if you have the time and opportunity over your week trial to do more, I am very happy for you to do so. If you're committed, I'm not going to hold you back. So with that, you can try it for $47. You can do the niching module. If you decided, once you see what it's all about, that you want to stay and you want to do the full 6 modules, then I will also give you 2 bonuses. You'll have the Marketing Made Simple course, which is a separate video course. It's got 12 videos that help you understand and plan your marketing. That's worth $267. Plus, you'll get 12 monthly live coaching calls where you can come and ask for feedback. You can ask your questions, whatever you want, and you get one of those every single month for a year. And that's all thrown in as well. So if you decided to move forward, you get those calls included. All you need to do is go to melittacampbell.com/trial, and you can already sign up for that $47 trial. And then all the questions you've been asking about going deeper, it's all answered there. You've got the videos, you've got the workbooks, you've got the community there, all ready to help you as well. And in that 1 week trial, the next monthly call is next week. So you may also come to that call and get some personalized feedback already. So all of that for just $47. Plus, if you decide to upgrade to the full Blueprint program, then I will refund you any investment you've made in the accelerator. And then you get the 12 months of weekly live coaching, plus so many other bonuses in that as well, to really help you get your business up and running and working for you over the next year. If you are interested in learning more about that, then go to melittacampbell.com/call. It's by application. I only have 2 to 3 people join that program each month. So I can't just say join in, because I want to make sure that there's the right number of people and the right personalities and everything in that group to make that work. So that's the offer, the 1-week trial. Do you have any questions that you would like help with?
Hi, Melitta. I just want to say thank you so much. Really helpful. And I'm really interested in this trial and maybe the first course. I think the second course, well, maybe the second course I'll be interested once I've finished the first course, because I think right now where I'm at, it's really the first course that I would need. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'm going to have to run to go get my kids at school, but really wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Glad you found it helpful.
Yeah. When you see those websites, you're like, of course, obviously. And even the ski instructor, like I am a ski instructor, but I'm a ski instructor for everybody. And I was like, that's so true. It's that niching down is makes it so obvious. But
yeah. But as I said right at the beginning, it takes clarity. Who exactly do you want to be attracting? Who works best with you? Who are you most excited about working with? And then it takes some courage to say, I'm this ski instructor, but no other ski instructors do it. And I really, every time I go up to the mountains, I'm like, why don't they do this? You know, there are so many adults who want to learn, and then they go and they just get any old instructor, and you end up with some 18-year-old, and you're like, well, they don't get how it feels for me right now.
Yeah.
So I think if you can niche, you'll have loads of clients because no one else is doing it. But yeah, that trial, it'll already help you with your niching and answer those questions. And it will give you a feel for what the program's all about. So you can decide, well, does this feel like the right move for me right now?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Eugenia, how about you? Have you got any questions I can help you with?
At the moment, I don't have questions. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was interesting to be here today and to start thinking about niching. I have kind of niching, but it still needs to be narrowed down. So it was really helpful for me to put myself in the right mindset for this, and the offer looks great for the trial.
Brilliant. And yeah, I have a client who's in the bigger program right now, and she's been going around in circles for 3 years trying to find her niche. And because she keeps changing all the time, she's not getting any traction in her business. But just after a couple of weeks, she was able to find her perfect niche. And then when it came to creating her signature system, I mean, she's blown us all away with what she's created, because it's now clear, well, I'm working with these people. They're struggling with this, they want to get here, and well, this is how they get there. You know, I know this really, really well. And she's created this incredible system. So it's helped her get there so quickly. And now she's already starting to sort of jump ahead with her marketing. She's like, well, now I know where these people are. I know what they need to hear from me. And she works with corporates. So she's developing a white paper to attract them in. And she knows exactly what that has to contain, how she's going to approach it. Everything has transformed for her and is feeling right and much more straightforward. It's never, as I say, it's never easy, but she knows what she's doing and it feels right. And she feels like she's doing the right thing. So once you get that niche, it's so, so important to get that right. But once you get it right and you know it in enough detail, you know all about you and how those two things overlap, everything else then becomes so much easier.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, thank you for joining today.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye.